And in becoming an assembly member and serving and representing more than 100,000 people in Queens, learning that to deliver justice means to also deliver safety. And that means leading a city where you recognize the bravery of the men and women who joined the NYPD and put their lives on the line. It means representing the Muslims who were illegally surveilled in my district.
JC, how did he do?
Again, the same cadence. This is rehearsed. I've seen it before. You cannot escape calling the police racist, anti-queer, saying that our district attorneys are the ones that are committing violent crimes, wanting to end any incarceration because it doesn't work. I mean, this is the history of Assemblyman Mamdani. Now he's cornered because he's 3 weeks away from an election, and he has to represent the largest city in the country. And if you're going to be the CEO of New York City government, how can you defend these incredibly irresponsible positions? They're indefensible. So you have to say things like, "When I learned, and now I apologize."
Yeah, a lot of learning. Yeah,
it's a lot of learning that's happened, and the kind of learning. This is where I think Governor Cuomo really knocked it out the park tonight with the experience question, because this learning that you're going to do on the job, he's already done. So it really was an eye opener for voters tonight, especially independent voters, and some of those 72% of Democrats that didn't vote in the closed party primary. They may be coming out in the next couple of weeks.
Kaivan, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I think it actually played a little bit better without, with the context of that he was responding to Cuomo, because I think Cuomo was too in on police. Like, obviously that's his message, but he didn't acknowledge that what I think a lot of Democratic voters do feel, which is that there are obviously some problems with policing in America. That's been well established. And so Mamdani reminded folks of that. I will say, this was another moment that I think, Cuomo, I talked about that bind he faced of not coming across too aggressive, but trying to have a moment. He also could have played for some Sliwa voters on the issue of crime. And especially, Sliwa's charmed people online with 15-second clips and like, oh, maybe he's not a mean Republican. But the reality is 2 hours of Curtis Sliwa was a lot of Curtis Sliwa. He sounded like a wacko. I was thinking of that Lisa Rinna gift. It's wackadoodle time. The 100th time he mentioned the Guardian Angels, which is, by the way, a vigilante group where he's lied about crimes that they've stopped. And it is a bit crazy. And Cuomo could have taken that opportunity, by the way. He lost the plot a couple times. He seemed confused. Cuomo could have jumped on that and said, look, guys, if you want to stop Mamdani, if you want policing to be taken seriously, I'm your guy.
Well, I appreciate the Bravo reference. I don't know if anyone else did, but I did. Okay.